Good morning, everyone. So, as we were continuing with chapter 11, that is health and wellness. So, today I am going to continue with this chapter. And in our last class, we have done up to the indicators of health status of the Indian populations. So, now today we are going to start with this, as you can see in the picture, that healthy persons. So whom do we call the healthy persons? Healthy persons are those who are physically fit and active, cheerful in their outlook, have adequate immunity against infections, and are not easily fatigued. Research has indicated the benefits of healthy diets, physical activity, individual action, and population-based public health interventions. Unhealthy diets generally include consumption of energy-dense foods high in sugar and fat. So what are the energy-dense foods? Those are the which contains high amount of sugar and fat. So those are the energy-dense foods. Now they are also high in salt. Such foods, when eaten in higher amounts than what the body requires, and coupled with reduced activity levels across all age groups, especially adolescents and adults, increases risk of non-communicable diseases. So when this kind of foods are taken in huge amount, so there is a chance of increase of the risk of the different non-communicable diseases. Diet and physical activity both influence health independently as well as together. Physical activity is a fundamental means of improving physical and mental health. So there is a tremendous need to increase awareness and promote better lifestyles to prevent people from having health problems. So the risk of developing diseases such as diabetes, heart diseases, hypertension in youth and adults is higher among individuals who are overweight or obese. So the individuals who are overweight or obese already, so there is a high chance of occurring the different diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, hypertension, these diseases. Okay. So health professionals commonly use anthropometric indicators, that is different body measurements, to assess nutritional status and risk. So the health professionals, what does they do? They use these different anthropometric measurements such as like height, weight, as well as MUSE, that is mid upper arm circumference, head circumference. Okay, these are the different indicators. So they use these things to assess different nutritional status and risk. A simple indicator is the body mass index. So body mass index is the most simpler and the very important one, which is commonly used to classify underweight, overweight and obesity in adults. So to know whether a person is underweight or overweight or is obese and different grades of obesity, so we use this body mass index. This index basically tells us whether a person's weight is appropriate for her or his height, that is weight for height. So according to the weight, whether the height is proper or not, and also according to the height, the weight is balanced or not, we can get from here. So it is defined as the weight in kilograms divided by the square of the height in meters, that is kg per meter square. This is the unit of BMI. For example, an adult who weighs 70 kg and whose height is 1.75 meter will have a BMI of 22.9. So this is the calculation which is done by taking the height and the weight in this unit. Okay, so BMI is equals to 70 kg by 1.72 meter square, which is equals to 22.9. So this is a scale. This is the BMI is given on on the basis of a scale in which the different grades of BMI are given. That which is normal, which is overweight, which is underweight, which is obese. This is a chart which I will show you in the next one. So World Health Organization, that is WHO, has recommended use of cutoff points for determining whether individuals are underweight, overweight, obese or normal, as shown in the table 1. That is, I'll show you in the next picture. So thus, if a person's BMI is below 18.5, he or she is classified as underweight. Similarly, cutoff points have been given for 3 categories, that is normal weight, overweight and obese, and subcategories within each. So for each of these there is a minimum value and maximum value, that is a range of values. So the World Health Organization, they categorized this BMI into different parts. So that is, they have kept a value for underweight, overweight or normal weight, obese and subcategories in between them. So these are the different values which I'll show you in a picture, in next picture. So basically what you have to know that there are different values which is given by the World Health Organization. They have classified these according to the different the physical activity, whether a person is overweight or underweight or obese or normal. They have categorized that into several parts. The health risks are higher as BMI increases because there are numerous related changes occurring in the body which are detrimental. Okay, so these include increased body fat, that is adipose tissue, decreased glucose tolerance, changes in blood cholesterol. Okay, so with the help of as the BMI increases, it leads to the increase in body fat, that is adipose tissues, they get deposited in the body. Decreased glucose tolerance, the tolerance of the glucose, it also decreases, and changes in the blood cholesterol level. So these are the fluctuating these things fluctuates as BMI increases. So in this table you can see the international classification of adult, underweight, overweight and obesity according to BMI. So the classification is given in the left side of the column, and the BMI is given, that is kg per meter square. It is divided into 2 parts, that is principal cutoff points and additional cutoff points. So underweight, as you can see, underweight is subcategorized into severe thinness, moderate thinness and mild thinness. So the values are less than 18.5, 16, 16 to 16.99, 17 to 18.49, and the additional cutoffs is also given there. So normal range is from 18.5 to 24.99. So and overweight is more or less than 25. Pre-obese, the obesity is also subcategorized as pre-obese, that is 25 to 29.99. And now obesity, as you can see, the obese, it is also categorized into 3 parts. That is, there are 3 grades of obesity. That is obesity class 1, obese class 2, obese class 3. So obese class 1 is from 30 to 34.99, class 2 is 35 to 39.99, and obese class 3, that is grade 3, and it is the most severe severity of this obesity. That is more than 40. Okay, so these are the different values given for the BMI of different classifications. Okay, so the BMI okay, now the source, as you can see, it is given adapted from WHO, that is 1995, World Health Organization 2000, and WHO 2004. So the current the current values are not here. This is given of 2000 or 2004, but you have to follow the current cutoffs. Okay, so BMI values are age dependent and the same for both sexes, but to some extent may differ in different populations due to genetic, ethnic and racial factors. So the BMI among different particularly the BMI values are age independent. Okay, and the same for both sexes, but to some extent may differ in different populations due to genetic. So this thing can vary according to the different populations due to genetic, ethnic and racial factors. Among the various ethnic populations, research evidence indicates that Asians have higher risk at the same BMI compared to the others. So if the BMI is same of the Asians and the other continents, so what you can see, the same BMI, it is riskier for the Asian people but not the other peoples. Okay, so that has been said in here, that among the various ethnic populations, research evidence indicates that Asians have higher risk at the same BMI compared to others. Hence, the World Health Organization has found it necessary to further subdivide the categories as shown in the third column of the table 1. Note to the teachers, it is recommended that the teachers familiarize themselves with this concept in order to explain it better to the students. This is not for you. So what you have to say that this is the additional cutoffs, as you in this previous picture from the table, the additional cutoffs were given there in order to make you understand that is for the Asians, us. Okay, so our BMI is some part of that changes from the others. Now okay, so I think today the class I'll end it here only. So in our next chapter, in next part, we'll discuss what are the do's and don'ts for health promoting diets. Okay, so that we'll discuss in our next video. So till then, go through this. See you in your next class. Bye.